I'll call to order the Thursday, March 12th, Ascension Parish Council meeting to order. Everyone rise, please. Our invocation tonight will be led by Mr. Ken Spivey from the Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office.
We bow our heads in prayer, please. Gracious God, merciful Father, we ask you this evening to give divine guidance and wisdom to our leaders of the Parish Council, the Great Ascension, Parish of Ascension. I pray that you would give strength, that you would provide peace, Lord, that you would help us to divinely guide every policy and procedure, Lord, of this great parish of Ascension. We're grateful to you for the blessings that you've bestowed, and tonight especially we would like to hold up the Marchand family, the most recent passing of Nepal Marchand. We ask, Lord, that you would comfort that Marchand family, that you would give them strength during this time, and it's in times like these especially that we seek you and the wonderful peace that you promise will come to us through the powerful presence of the Holy Spirit. I ask these things in the name of Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Chaplain. Our pledge will be led by Chief of Police Sherman Jackson. Chief?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chief. Roll call, Ms. Suzanne. Councilman George Valentine is missing. Councilman Chris Lohr coming in. Councilman, I have chair additions tonight. I have two chair additions for you to vote on, please. The first one will be a resolution to authorize bond refunds. That came out of our finance meeting.
So moved, Mr. Chairman. Second.
Got a first by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Cullen. I'll need a roll call, please, ma'am.
Councilman Cullen.
Yes.
Councilman Cullen.
Yes.
Councilman Joseph.
Yes.
Councilman Dempsey Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Todd Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Lohr.
Yes.
Councilman Shake Snyder.
Yes.
Councilman Thompson.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilman, we will make that mark on your agenda 11A, resolution to authorize bond refunds. The second one, I'd like to get a roll call vote. A motion and a roll call would be to extend our charter commission for 30 days.
Move to extend.
Motion by Councilman Kent Shake Snyder, second by Councilman Adrian Thompson. Roll call, please, ma'am.
Councilman Kuwat.
Yes.
Councilman Cullen.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Joseph.
Yes.
Councilman Dempsey Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Todd Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Lohr.
Yes.
Councilman Shake Snyder.
Yes.
Councilman Thompson.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilman, that will be 11B in our general business section. Item 4, our public comment period. Anyone wish to speak on any item on the agenda tonight, please sign in with Ms. Suzanne. You will be allowed 3 minutes. Next, we'll move into our presentations. Introduction of the newly appointed Ascension Economic Development Cooperation Director, Mr. Michael Eads. I will call on Chairman Johnny Berthelot.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the council. It is indeed my pleasure to be before you tonight and to introduce to you not only our president, CEO, but our entire staff is here tonight. We've got our new president CEO who started last Monday with us by the way of Halifax, Virginia, Mr. Michael Eads. Mike, stand up, please. We also have our Director of Business Retention, Ms. Kristen Batulis, and our Administrative Assistant, Ms. Lisa Laws. We're looking forward to working with each and every one of you to move Ascension forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Eads, please come forward, sir. Just wanted to give you a few seconds maybe to say some things about yourself. I'd like to welcome you on behalf of myself and the council. We had met a few times earlier on, and we're very thankful that you're here with us. You're part of our team. We're looking for big things. Move us forward. We're there. Any help from us, please let us know, sir. We're very honored for you to be here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and members of the council. I am also delighted to be here with you tonight and to be in this position. And I want to thank everyone associated with Ascension for the wonderful treatment that my wife and I have had on the reception, the kind reception in this community. It's been most impressive, and I'm very much looking forward to working with you all in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And tell Miss Charlie don't be a stranger. Bring her around too.
She won't. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Next, we have a proclamation, National Volunteer Week.
Proclaim April 19th through 25th National Volunteer Week in Ascension Parish. Whereas all members of a community can affect positive change with any volunteer action, no matter how big or small, and the giving of oneself in service to others empowers the giver and the recipient, and volunteers can connect with local community service opportunities through hundreds of community service organizations like Volunteer Ascension, and more than 64 million volunteers working in their communities utilize their time and talent to make a real difference in the lives of children, adults, and the elderly. And during the week, all over the nation, service projects will be performed, volunteers recognized for their commitment to service, and experience teaches us that the government by itself cannot solve all of our nation's problems. And Ascension Parish government saw the need for and created Volunteer Ascension to serve as the volunteer center for Ascension Parish. Now be it proclaimed, I, Tommy Martinez, President of the Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, by virtue of the authority vested in me, do hereunto proclaim April 19th to the 25th, 2009 as National Volunteer Week in Ascension Parish, and urge my fellow citizens to join Volunteer Ascension in making a contribution to Ascension Parish by volunteering and recognizing those who serve. I think Ms. Audrey's here, who serves.
Right behind you, sir.
Life Foundation.
It's now Hands-On Network, a member of the Point Light Institute.
Thanks, Audrey. Audrey Boudreaux.
I just wanted to let y'all know, thank you for the proclamation a little earlier than usual, and we wanted to do that because National Volunteer Week happens in April. We're having our 11th annual Volunteer of the Year Awards fundraiser, which is April 21st at the Holiday Inn in Gonzales. The deadline for volunteer nominations is April 1st, so we wanted to make sure to get this in by that time. I know that everyone here in this room just about is a volunteer probably or is associated with one. You're bound to know someone, and I encourage everyone to please take a moment and nominate a worthy volunteer that's in our parish that would deserve being nominated, as all of them do. One of the categories, I'm so glad to see so many youth here tonight, because one of our categories is a youth individual or group, and we hardly ever get very many youth volunteer nominations, so I encourage you to please do that. This year we have a new category, and we're going to give a lifetime volunteer award starting this year at our awards ceremony. This is going to be for someone who's volunteered at least 10 years in the parish and has been active volunteering in 3 of the last 5 years. And there's many, many seasoned volunteers in our parish that are worthy of this nomination. In your packets that I handed out to earlier, you have both of those nomination forms, and I have some with me if anyone wants that. So I encourage you all to do that, and please attend our Volunteer of the Year Awards on the 21st. We have a comedian that will be there as well, and it's a very nice ceremony that usually has about 200 people there. Thank you.
Thank you, Audrey.
Next, we have a proclamation to proclaim March American Red Cross Month in Ascension Parish. Whereas each March we formally recognize the Louisiana Capital Area Chapter of the American Red Cross and its essential humanitarian role in Ascension Parish. Every day, Red Cross volunteers and employees provide essential services in this community to help those affected by everything from house or apartment fires, hurricanes, and other natural and human-caused disasters. Thanks to the generous support of the people in Ascension Parish, and for more than 90 years, Louisianians have relied on the Red Cross to provide disaster relief, water safety, and first aid, CPR, AED training. Over the past year, nearly 30,000 people have enrolled in the American Red Cross preparedness courses in a 10-parish area. The Louisiana Capital Area Chapter has provided 960 services to the armed forces and their families and has responded to 450 local incidents, the most common disaster being the home fire. Now there be it proclaimed, I, Tommy Martin, as President of the Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, by virtue of the authority vested in me, and do hereunto proclaim March 2009 as American Red Cross Month in Ascension Parish, and urge my fellow citizens to observe this month, especially during this extraordinary time for our country. I encourage all Americans to support this organization's noble humanitarian mission. Mr. Kindleber. Ms. Kindleber.
On behalf of the staff and volunteers of the local chapter of the American Red Cross, we want to thank you for the proclamation and for your support every year. March is American Red Cross Month, and it is our time to remind our communities locally of the services provided by your American Red Cross. And we say your American Red Cross because we really could not do what we do without the generosity of the American people. It is time and money by people just like you and me that continue to give back to their community. Over 90 cents of every dollar that is donated to the local chapter goes right back into the 10-parish area. That money stays local, and it goes to providing the most immediate emergency needs of people who were affected by disasters, big and small. Most of the time, you know us when we're opening shelters and operating shelters in this area because of large-scale hurricanes or other disasters. Oftentimes, people do not realize that the most common disaster is the single-family home fire, and our average is actually 1 every 19 hours. When a call is made to the fire department or 911, the next call goes to the American Red Cross, and it's people like you and me, our volunteers and staff, who get up in the middle of the night or come during the day to assist the needs of those who were affected by the disaster. And we cannot thank you enough for proclaiming March as American Red Cross Month, what you do in our community to support our organization and to spread the word, the good work of the American Red Cross, and we do thank you for that.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have our Gonzales Middle girls and boys basketball teams.
Is this the team that's redoing? My chief in there.
I'm not sure. I'll have to ask.
2008-2009 Gonzales Middle Boys Bulldog Parish Championship Team, coached by Mr. Dwayne Andrews. First of all, let me congratulate you. My wife teaches at Galvez, so it's tough for him to give up that basketball. He's done a good job, and we appreciate it. And Paul, that's not good enough.
It's for you.
Mr. Jared Adams, guard. Not here. Tyler Briley, guard. No. Quentin Connish, forward. DeAndre Darville, forward. Junius Chong, forward. All right. Javon Gibson, guard. Chad Hill, guard. Donald LeBlanc, guard. Kevin Martin, forward. Salvador Owens, forward center. Marvin Roberts, guard. Tyler Robinson, center. Chevron Urson, forward. Devon Williams, guard, forward. And Joshua Andrews, guard and manager. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
I'm going to grab my cam out of your way.
Do it, Thomas.
In front of the council. Yep. Paul, President Martinez, if you wouldn't mind. Half of you on the left, half of you on the right. Gentlemen, if you'd like to stand up behind the...
Come on over here.
Can I have this end forward come to this side for me, please?
We just informed they had 3 undefeated seasons in a row. So.
Can you please take your left shoulder, turn it out, right shoulder in. President Martinez, you can stay forward. Coach, you can stay forward, but please don't have your left, right shoulder forward. My left and my right. It's a wide shot. I'm trying to get y'all all in here. Hold on. All right, ready? Joshua, can you look at me? Everybody look this way, smile. 1, 2, 3. One more, please. 1, 2, 3. All right, congratulations, gentlemen.
Good job, guys.
Good job, guys.
Dallas Middle had a good year because the girls also won the parish championship. Coach from it all the way. Coach, how many is this? First one for you?
It's the third officer.
Third altogether. Congratulations. Amber Lambert, guard. Nice. Jerica Williams, guard. Taylor Bourgeois, guard. Deshaun Curry, guard. Jacqueline Johnson, guard. Sierra Washington, guard. Linda Boland, guard. Kara Caldwell, forward center. Shannon Corbin, guard. Ariel Ross, forward. Amanda Emanuel, forward. Carly Perkins, center. Taisha Sims, forward. Congratulations to all of you. Coach, you want to say a few words about this girl?
Lord Charlotte. I'm going to call her up in this. Y'all want to, just like the guys, can y'all tighten up right there? Gentlemen, would y'all like to join them for a picture as well, please? Let me see the certificate and everybody's faces. Ready? One, two, three. Let me get one more, please. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. And I'd like to invite Principal Lori Charlotte. If you'd like to come on up.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know it's the boys aren't up here, but on behalf of Gonzales Middle School, all students and staff, we'd like to say a special thank you to the council, to you, President Martinez, for taking this opportunity to recognize our students and staff for their hard work, both on the court and off. These are fine young men and women, and they are going far in life. I especially would like to thank Councilman Kent Scheck-Snyder, who has given so many years of his life to Gonzales Middle School, and he has impacted so many lives during the time that he has taught for us. So thank you very much, Councilman Scheck-Snyder. We appreciate it.
Harry, would you come forward, please? Harry Robert.
Will we present him?
Stand at the podium, Harry.
Man of the year.
Harry, I kind of did a white lie to get you here. We're honoring you tonight, whether you like it or not. So we thank you very much for being one of the top community-minded people that we've been around. You're very supportive of everybody in the community, the council. You've done it for years, and it's just time. We just want to say thank you from the bottom of our heart. And you're a great, positive team player for Ascension Parish. We appreciate you. Mr. Martinez?
I think all of my life. He's a few years older than me, not many, but he's been a friend. His whole family's been great to this community, and I'm glad that staff and council decided to honor him. It's a pleasure for me to read this. Certificate of appreciation. This certificate is hereby awarded to Harry Robert. The Parish of Ascension is proud to present this certificate to Harry Robert in honor of his many civic, volunteer, and community contributions. As a native son of Ascension Parish and an owner and operator of several local businesses, Mr. Robert has over the years taken an active role in nurturing our growth as a community. Ascension Parish Council and myself wish to thank you and further recognize these many selfless acts for the keep of the Parish of Ascension. Thank you, Harry, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Aaron.
That picture. Make him take a picture.
Hey, we need a picture.
Yeah, we need a picture.
All right, let's try it. There you go.
All those good works, that's how they get rewarded, huh? Let's see. There you go, Councilman. I can't see you, Councilman Joseph.
Which one,
Okay,
Joe?
that's good.
Come closer.
Yep, that's good. Okay, everybody here. One,
Be Oliver.
2, 3. And actually, can I have you come to this side for me, please?
Oh, you got to climb over chairs.
I'm sorry. There you go. That's good. That's fine right there. I'm just a little off balance. 1, 2, 3. One more, please. 1, 2, 3.
Don't shake hands with Adrian. Go back while we're in the place.
Okay, moving on, item 6. President Martinez, do you have anything for a report?
I just want to say that Councilman Laura and I just attended a meeting on Highway 42. It was a public hearing. Hopefully they can get that highway moving. It seemed like a very positive and informative meeting. It seemed like everybody there was very, very positive about the project. So I just want to note that. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Councilman Joseph.
Mr. President, Bayou Lafourche, I know we're supposed to get an update from them, and our next meeting in Downsonville, can we make sure we have someone to speak on behalf of that? I know they're about to start some process of that.
I've met with a couple of them a couple of times from Natural Resources. I'm still kind of getting mixed answers to some of the questions. But I would certainly make sure that that happens. We will get a person from the Bayou Lafourche Freshwater District now, since they have evidently the project's been turned over to them to give us an update. So we'll take care of that, and hopefully we can get somebody from Natural Resources.
Yeah, because I mean, I've been hit with a couple of questions, and I can help them with that. So
Well, they've given everyone a letter now that's pretty plain and simple, saying basically that the state owns the property and they're not going to compensate anybody for it.
Okay.
So that's basically where they're at. And
all right, so I just hope they come in full.
Well, hopefully we can get them to come and talk to us, because I got a couple questions myself.
Okay, I appreciate it very much, Mr. President.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Next is item 7, our consent agenda. Looking for a motion to adopt the minutes. Motion by Councilman Cullen, second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. We'll move into our general business section. Item 8, discussion revisions to the Ascension Parish zoning map. Plan Director Ricky Compton.
Thank you. This is a presentation that I initially gave to the strategic planning meeting that we're going to give to the Zoning Commission next month, and that we're going to give to the public in the workshops that are coming up at the end of March and the beginning of April. When we started looking at the zoning map, we had 4 goals in mind when we started talking about revisions. Those 4 goals were to clean it up with reference to the zoning designations. There's a lot of parcels within the parish, and the map that's on the screen today is our existing zoning map. There's a lot of parcels that have multiple zoning designations. That causes confusion, and that causes us to actually draft an ordinance to say, how do you define what the actual zoning of a parcel is if it's got a zoning line that crosses it? So we wanted to clean those up. The next issue was we wanted to address some sites within the parish that have non-conforming uses with the correct zoning designation. And I'm going to tell you which sites those are, because I've had a lot of confusion. And literally I've had 6 calls in my office about the map, and 5 of them have been, are we rezoning all non-conforming sites? And the answer is no. The third issue is the council recently, within the last month, approved a new zoning designation, MU2, for residential scale, office, and commercial. We wanted to analyze where in the parish that zoning category might make sense. And the last goal was to get our zoning map more in line with what our transportation network can support. If you look at the corridor, and I'm going to attempt to zoom in here, 42 and 44, if that corridor, those corridors developed out as Crossroads Commercial, all of the property shown could be apartments. All of the property shown could be strip centers. What would that do to a 2-lane road? How would we handle that traffic-wise? So that's one of the goals that we were trying to address. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over to our new map that starts to address some of those goals. The biggest thing you'll see just on the broad brush look of it is the burgundy in the Prairieville, Dutchtown, Gonzales area, and I'm going to zoom in. What we've done is begun to address the mixed use too, and I'm going to start up here on Airline Highway and work my way down and east. And any parcel that fronted on Airline Highway retained its mixed use designation. But if, based on the stripe that was painted in the before condition, if your parcel had mixed use designation but you weren't fronting on Airline Highway, we made you mixed use too. And so what you'll see is this little area right here. There's a couple parcels right here at 929. 929, there's also the local 102. We were asked, does it make sense to make that the Union site mixed use too so that they can sell their site as commercial? It makes sense. There's 12,000 square feet. All of the buildings there meet the intent of mixed use too, sort of small scale office uses. So we've included that on our map. Post Office Square. We recently saw a rezone where we converted one of those parcels to mixed use. The character of that is more leaning towards small scale office and commercial, so we're rezoning that. As we move down 42, what we wanted to address was the fact that we had Crossroads Commercial that wasn't at Crossroads. It was just stripped out down the road. So what we did is we took all those areas that weren't at a crossroads and we made them mixed use too. The analysis that we did basically said that it's not fair to remove the commercial designation, so we're going to make them MU2, small scale, residential and commercial, but leave the Crossroads Commercial. So it's here at 929, it's here at 44, and it's back here at Joe Saverio. As we work our way down 44, we did the same analysis. Crossroads Commercial is at the crossroads, mixed use 2 is interspersed in between. As we work our way down south through the parish, what you'll see, oh, we zoomed in. Is we've tried to clean up where those parcel lines were crossed with the zoning. But what you'll also see is there's some areas where we left them. And what we did there is we said that those parcels are oversized. They don't meet our current 51% rule. Today, if less than 51% of your property is a certain designation, you are the other, the 52% or whatever the other designation is. If you front on a highway or a major road and you have commercial, we didn't think it was fair to eliminate your commercial viability, so we kept those. Once again, I want to address this while I'm up here on 42. The other non-conforming site was Mom's Bar. It was currently zoned as conservation. The thought is if we give it an MU2 designation, that affords that property owner the ability to sell his property and us get something better there. That's something that at this corner, we've created a little crossroads corner, and across the street, if we could get something better, that would be great as well. And then the other one is down here, and I apologize, I think it's 933 and 42. We rezoned one parcel through the council, and I decided that it makes more sense to give it 4 parcels there at the corner and make it a little crossroads, make it something where the commercial could actually happen. As we move down 931, what you'll see is the crossroads commercials are all pretty much still where they were before. We just cleaned up the parcels where they were cut. We've included them. Where they were significantly less than 51%, we eliminated them. In the before map, in our existing zoning map, Santa Maria High School had a crossroads commercial designation. We've cleaned that up. As we move south, I'm going to zoom out here. The other non-conforming site that we've addressed is the entrance to Pelican Point. There's a nice commercial strip center out there. It was zoned as RM, but one of their agreements was they were going to be allowed to do commercial. So we've given them that mixed-use designation. The other thing that we've done is on the west side of the river. We think that there's a lot of potential for businesses to come in and build some of that small warehouse type space, some of that flex space. And so what we've done is we've created a business park designation at the intersection of 943 and Highway 1. We created a nice large business park area. But what we also did is where we don't think we have a road network to support it, we've converted that back to conservation. We've cleaned up the map over on this side of the river as well. There were some other oddities going on. And then the other thing that we did is we've created a zoning category in our bachelor lands that now makes sense. In our before map, we had zoning categories that didn't allow uses that were legally allowed in those bachelor lands. So we've created all of those as transition lands where they didn't exist today. And the last, and probably the most significant thing that we've done, based on some recommendations from staff and from the council, is we've created 3 specific areas, and that's with these heavy purple lines. And those lines depict what we're calling our PUD, SPUD, T&D overlay zone. And what that does is it basically says, if you're going to come out here to develop in these areas, we want you to develop to a higher standard. We want your project to be above and beyond just a parceled out subdivision. We want parks and we want open space and we want you to look at the roads and we want you to look at the schools and the police and the fire and make sure that everything is working out there. And what's so great about these specific sites is we feel that these are 3 sites that are probably great future growth sites. Sites that as we move forward with our sewer plan, that these sites are more capable to handle bigger development more quickly than some other sites. So that's where we are today. And what we've done is we've gone out and we've scheduled a series of meetings starting Monday, March 23rd and ending Tuesday, March 31st. And we're going to meet within every district and we're going to go over these maps. And we're going to have big blow-up maps so that the public comes out, can look at them. We'll give them the spiel that's relative to their district, but we'll have the overall map so they can see what we're doing in other parts. But our goal here is by the end of these meetings and by the next time that I bring this to you, we will have met 16 times in the public. We've already talked about this 3 times. We're going to meet in 10 meetings in the public, and we're going to come back to the Zoning Commission, to strategic planning, and back to the council. We're advertising in the paper, we're advertising on 21, and we're advertising on our website. If anybody has any questions, my door is always open. Please come and talk to me.
Any
Ricky,
questions?
could you say those days again? From March?
Monday, March 23rd through Tuesday, March 31st. Yes, sir. You want me to announce it? Okay. On Monday, March 23rd, we're going to meet at the Lemon Center in District 1 from 9 to 11. On Tuesday, March 24th, from 9 to 11, we're going to meet in Santa Maria Park for District 6. On Wednesday, March 25th, we're going to meet from 9 to 11 in the Darrow Community Center for District 3. From 2 to 4, we're going to meet in the Sorrento Civic Center for District 2. On Monday, March 30th, we're going to meet from 9 to 11 at the Oak Grove Community Center for Districts 4 and 7. And from 2 to 4, we're going to meet at DPW on Church Point for Districts 9 and 10. On Tuesday, March 31st, we're going to meet from 9 to 11 at the Geismar Community Center for District 8. And from 2 to 4 at the Galvez Library for Districts 5 and 11.
Ricky, you going to email us those schedules?
I can email. Yes,
It's also on Channel 21.
Okay.
Councilman Lohr.
Ricky, just a couple comments. First, appreciate, especially I know we've had a lot of discussions about Highway 42, and appreciate your comments about using the new category of mixed use too, to more fit in with the commercial development around there, making sure it fits in, but still allowing commercial. But I just wanted to take a moment to just say thank you for your efforts on this. I strongly support this. Sure, we're talking. It's going to be a sensitive subject. We're talking about people's property, but I think the approach you've taken is wonderful, and I think I just want to say I support it, and I'm continually impressed by the stuff you keep bringing to us. So thank you.
If I can just add one thing to this discussion. Literally, what I feel we're doing is just cleaning up the map. We're not making any real big whole-scale changes yet. On tomorrow, we're getting the RFPs for our parish-wide master plan. On April 1st, we're going to see those presentations from the public on TV. It's going to be a big deal. During that master plan process, we're going to develop a future land use map. What the citizens feel they want their community to look like 25, 30, 40 years into the future. When we've drawn a future land use map, we're going to look at our zoning map again and say, what do we need to fix now? What do we need to put where the people want it? If people tell me they think Sandomal should be industrial, we'll make it industrial. If they tell me they think Dutchtown should be all commercial, we'll make our zoning map reflect that. But the future land use map that the citizens create will then look at the zoning map and decide, okay, now what do we do? How do we make the zoning map look like the citizens want it to look?
Okay. Anybody else, Councilman?
Just one thing, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Lambert.
Ricky, on the airline highway, I like that. About how far at the intersections, I knew you mentioned Germany Road, Highway 931. How far out are you going to go from the intersection of airline? Are you looking at 200 to 300 feet east and west, or how far are you going out?
What we did is the current western boundary of the mixed use on airline was the railroad tracks. It's a perfectly logical boundary for why you would stop commercial. On the eastern side, we looked at every parcel, whether or not it fronted on airline or fronted on one of those other roads. And if there was already a rezone or a use there, then yes, we kept it as commercial and we filled in the gaps. Beyond that, that 660 stripe pretty much determined, or I think it may have been a little bit bigger along airline, that determined where we stopped it. We didn't necessarily go 1,000 feet and say this is where we're going to stop it. We looked at what was there, and that's what decided it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir. Anybody else? Thank you, Ricky. Item 9, acceptance of a high bid for the property located at 13003 Shealy Drive, Gonzales, Louisiana. Legal counsel, Mrs. Lindsay Manda.
Council members, at our auction this Saturday, the high bid for this particular piece of property was $83,000. You have before you the purchase agreement, and we're asking you to ratify that.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Moved by Councilman Todd Lambert, seconded by Councilman Chris Lower. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Item 10, acceptance of a high bid for the property located 13008.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Todd Lambert, seconded by Councilman Randy Cluard. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Item 11, resolution in opposition to the federal 2010 budget as it relates to elimination of $30 billion from the oil and gas industry.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Moved by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Randy Cluart. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Resolution carries. Councilman, this is the resolution that we talked about in Washington, D.C. Item 11A. We need a motion for the resolution to authorize the bond refund. Moved by Councilman Dempsey Lambert, second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Any discussion? Any objection? Resolution passes. Item 11B. I'm asking for extension for the Charter Commission for 30 days.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Chris Lower.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Moving into our planning and zoning recommendations, Planning Ricky Compton. Item 12, zoning review, ID 197708, tract A2A2 of the industrial material concrete property from Marion Cove Enterprise, LLC, located on the west side of Airline Highway, approximately 1,900 foot south of Perkins Road, to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map from medium intensity residential RM to mixed use MU. The zoning commission has recommended approval of this item. Review only, Rick?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I took your glory, I'm sorry. Councilman, this is for review only. If you have any questions from Ricky. Okay. Item 13, please.
You want to do this one?
No, sir, you go ahead.
Zoning Review ID 1976.08, located on the west side of LA Highway 44, approximately 1,700 feet north of Germany Road, to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map from medium-intensity residential RM to small plan unit development, SPUD. The Zoning Commission recommended approval of this item for review only.
Any questions for Ricky? Okay, sir. Thank you. We will next move into our public hearing ordinance section. Item 14, reading of ordinance. Mrs. Lindsay Manda.
Purpose, to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map by rezoning a certain parcel of land from residential to mixed-use two corridors. Whereas the Parish of Ascension has in effect a comprehensive plan of zoning, pursuant to that plan, a parish-wide development code was adopted by the Ascension Parish Governing Authority, which became effective on June 1st, 1999. Whereas the Ascension Parish Development Code provides for a procedure for its amendment to allow the rezoning of property to a different classification. Whereas the herein below described property is located as such that rezoning the property is in conformity with the adjacent land uses, in conformity with the general land use plan of the parish, not injurious to adjacent properties, and fully meets the qualifications for rezoning set forth under Louisiana law. Be it ordained that the following described property be rezoned from residential to mixed use 2, Zoning Review ID 1954.08, Tract A1, Robert Thibodeau property for Tim and Regina Harp. Said property commences at a distance of 130 feet from the southwest corner of the west one-half of Lot 15, Section 33, Township 9 South, Range 2 East, and measures thence 105.98 feet front on Louisiana Highway 73, a width in the rear of 225.98 feet, a depth on the northern side, line facing the Anthony Bacala property, as shown on said survey, of 565 feet, by a first depth on the southern side of the property measured from Louisiana Highway 73 of 200 feet to a point, and a second depth on the same side parallel with Louisiana Highway 73 of 120 feet to a point, with a final depth to the rear of the property on said sideline of 265 feet to the rear of said property. Be it further ordained that the land use map of the Ascension Parish Development Code be amended to reflect these rezonings, and that the Office of Planning and Zoning be authorized to make such changes.
I need a motion to open public hearing, please. Motion by Councilman Randy Cluart, second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. At this time, anyone wish to speak on this matter, please come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. The motion closed by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Randy Cluart. I'll need a motion to approve the ordinance, please.
Motion to move the ordinance.
Motion by Councilman Chris Lohr, second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is introduced. Okay, item 17, Mrs. Manda.
And Chairman, I believe it was just adopted, not introduced. Just adopted.
Ordinance is adopted. Very sorry. Thank you for correcting me, ma'am.
No problem.
Item 17, reading of ordinance.
Purpose, to amend Chapter 5, Article 3 of the Ascension Parish Code of Ordinances to prohibit animal sales in certain areas. Wherefore, the governing authority of Ascension Parish recognizes the need to regulate the sale of animals throughout the parish. Wherefore, it is in the best interest of the citizens of the parish that animal sales be restricted to certain designated areas and prohibited in certain public places. Be it hereby ordained that Section 558 of the Ascension Parish Code of Ordinances be amended to add Section 558.1 as follows. Section 558.1, prohibition of animal sales in restricted areas. No person shall sell, exchange, barter, trade, lease, rent, give away, or display any live animal on any roadside, public right-of-way, median, park, playground, swimming pool, or other recreational area, flea market, commercial or retail parking lot, or property adjacent to such locations that is generally accessible to the public, regardless of whether such access is authorized or not. Exception. This section shall not apply to humane societies, animal welfare groups, animal control agencies, or nonprofit organizations sponsoring animal adoption events. Violation. Penalties for violation of this section are prescribed in Section 5-59. The provisions of this ordinance are declared to be separate and severable. The invalidity of any clause, sentence, paragraph, subdivision, section, or portion of this does not invalidate the remaining portions of this ordinance.
I'll need a motion to open public hearing, please. Motion by Councilman Todd Lambert. Second. I have a second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Anyone wish to speak on this matter, please come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes.
Motion to close.
Motion to close.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh, I'm very sorry. Sheriff signed in with Miss Suzanne. Okay, Mr. Keith Bryan. Yes, sir.
I'm the manager of the flea market on Airline Highway in Prairieville. And I'm simply wondering, what is the problem with selling animals at the flea market? Why would we go through the effort of making some ordinance to prohibit that? I just would like an answer to that.
Yeah, I mean, he just needs to make a statement.
Yes, sir. Just make your statement. I mean, it's not question and answer. Make a statement. You got 3 minutes.
Well, I would like to oppose that the flea market be included in that list of places, and would just like to find out, why that's being, proposed. And I don't know where I go to find that out. Who can I ask about it?
Okay, sir.
I oppose that motion until I know why.
Very good. Thank you.
That's all I can say.
Councilman, I'll need a motion to close public hearing, please.
Motion to close public hearing.
Motion for Councilman Oliver Jones, second by Councilman Chris Lohr. I'll need a motion for the ordinance.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Lohr. Second by Councilman Randy Cluart. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. Item 20, Mrs. Manda.
Purpose, to provide the Ascension Parish Governing Authority with a system of reimbursement in accordance with Section 404B of the Ascension Parish Charter and in compliance with state law. Whereas Section 404B of the Ascension Parish Charter provides as follows. The governing authority by ordinance may adopt a system of reimbursement upon presentation of properly documented receipts of reasonable expenses necessary to the performance of official duties of the governing authority and in compliance with state law. Whereas the Ascension Parish Council in lawful session desires to establish a reasonable system of reimbursement for council members in such instances when council members expend personal funds while engaging in official parish business, whereas such a system is authorized by Sections 404B of the Ascension Parish Charter, be it ordained that the Ascension Parish Council hereby adopts a system of reimbursement attached hereto and made a part hereof as Exhibit A. Be it further ordained that the reimbursements will only be made upon presentation of properly documented itemized receipts.
Need a motion to open public hearing, please.
Motion to open public
Motion by Councilman Oliver Jones, second by Councilman Kent Shake Snyder. Anyone wish to speak on this matter, please come forward. You'll be allotted 3 minutes.
Motion to close.
Motion to close by Councilman Oliver Joseph. Second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Need a motion for the ordinance, please.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Joseph. Second by Councilman Randy Cluart. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman?
Councilman Todd Lambert.
Just to clear up with Ms. Lindsay, this ordinance pretty much is just to make sure what we're doing now is legal. It's just for out-of-parish expense, correct?
Right. This ordinance only applies to your out-of-parish expense.
Correct. I just wanted to make sure that everyone's aware of that. Thank you.
Okay, any more discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. I'll need a motion to go into executive session. Councilman Randy Cluart. Second by Councilman Todd Lambert. I'll need a roll call, please, ma'am.
Councilman Cluart.
Yes.
Councilman Cullen.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Joseph.
Yes.
Councilman Dempsey Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Todd Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Lohr.
Yes.
Councilman Shake Snyder.
Yes.
Councilman Thompson.
Yes.
To reconvene, second by Councilman Benny Johnson.
I got the motion. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to allow our legal counsel to move forward in good faith in arbitration of this Roy Rosaire and Associates claim for breach of contract in the amount of $45,000.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Randy Cluart. Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Any discussion? Any objection?
Discussion. I just want to make sure we're clear about our direction, that we allow legal counsel to respond and to the next step. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any more discussion before we get to Councilman Lambert? Next item, Councilman Todd Lambert. Motion adjourned by Councilman Lambert, second by Councilman Oliver Joseph.
Object.